Good morning, my name is Dima, and today we are building car maintenance tracker application. Last time we added the login endpoint, but I realized that our build is failed. So today the plan is to fix everything, to make the build green and finalize the authentication part and probably add some authorization. So let's take a look what is wrong here. So it's built, we didn't even reach the test. So the problem is in the user details mapper. Yeah, as you can see, the return type user details is an abstract class or interface. So that means Mapstrack cannot understand what class it should build. So we need to provide some concrete implementation, and in our case, it's authenticated user details, right? So let's take a look what happens. The build should be green right now, I hope so, if the tests are not failing, you know. Open API is building. Some error occur. Don't show me again. There is no message. Oh, username. Yeah, that's right. So as you remember, we changed the username to email here. Let me do it like this. So we changed the username to email and overrided the method here to return just an email as a username. And we have the mapping here. Here we say that the target is the username. So that means this field should be inside of this class. But there is nothing like that, right? So that is why we need to change it to email. So, but basically there is, what is going on here? Something is unavailable. Okay, and basically we can just remove it, and Mapstract will map email to email, so there is no sense to define explicitly such things. Also, you also need to take a look on the warnings that IntelliJ showed to you. So it says that this class can be converted to the record. So we can ask IntelliJ to convert this class into the record. So the record actually is the what? Must implement abstract method. But we yeah, that makes sense. So actually the record is an immutable, and I don't want to let someone change the authentication user details. So it's absolutely makes sense to make it as a record. So let's keep it like this and take a look if everything is fine. Result tests. Yeah, build is success. Let's take a look on the tests. Takes time to run tests a little bit. As you can see, there is something. All our tests are failing. Let's take a look. What's wrong here? Let's run just single test. In such way, we can get better stack trace to analyze. Okay, scroll down. Binding validation errors on tracker security JWT. this is our property, as far as I remember, that we defined in the application YAML. Let me show you application YAML. Here it is. Car, maintenance, tracker, security, JWT. And yeah, this is the configuration properties file. We said that it should be validated, and we have such annotations here. And it says that the secret should not be blank, but it's blank in our tests. And it absolutely makes sense because take a look here. So we defined the expiration milliseconds property only, and the secret is defined here in the local profile. But our integration test is running with the test profile, so that is why we need to add this property for the tests. So we need to add the resources folder, we need to add the application test YAML, because all the tests is running under the test profile. So, and we need to override some maybe test secret or something like that. Let's check once again. Could be better now, I hope. Okay, till now. Okay, let's override the profile. Let's name it IT, integration tests. And rename the application test to application IT YAML. What is wrong? Sources, configuration, the database failed to determine suitable JDBC driver. Interesting. Let's override it. Data source. As far as I remember, I take this property from the application YAML. Let me take a look if Docker is running. Yeah, here it is. It should be fine. What's wrong? Hmm. Cannot determine suitable JDBC driver. Here it is. This is the driver for the Postgres. It's present. Let's try to execute it like this. Maybe something was not generated correctly. No, no. It's the same. Yeah, the same problem. Let's compare field secret. So it should be something like this. Car, maintenance, tracker, security, JWT, and the secret here. Secret 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's green. Let's take a look. What is here? So the secret. Here, my secret. Same should be here. My secret. Maybe the hierarchy was wrong in some way. Who knows? Is there something about the profile? No active profile. Ah, come on! I thought I understand this. I understood my mistake. So the profile just saying that this bin should be created only for this profile, but we want to say that we need to run this test under the active profile IT. So the active profile would be IT, or maybe, yeah, let's keep it as IT. So we need to add it here as well, I think. And let's try to execute our build. Something wrong. What is this? Looks terrible. Maybe this one should be executed with the active profile too. Where do we use it at all? This is the test for the... No, let's take a look. Okay, let's try it. So looks like all the tests are running under this application. So, and maybe it's only necessary to keep the active profiles here, and that's it, no? Says that there is an error. Which error? You see, we have just a couple of the tests, and we can find the errors immediately. So we run it, we don't run it under the correct profile, active profiles IT. Maybe it makes sense to create some generic annotation to, to hide all those annotations under into the one place and reuse it later, So maybe we can try to add something like integration. Come on. Java class? No. I want to create the Java class. Yeah, I want integration test. So here I want to place everything that we have here. So the active profile, Spring Boot, configure everything. And let's try to use the annotation here. Integration test. We will try if it is sufficient. Looks like no. Let me take a look. src main, src test, common station. Yeah, I think we need to add some additional things. So we need to say that this annotation is inherited. What the inherited means is that indicates that annotation interface is automatically inherited. So we needed one more thing. We need to say that we can apply it to the classes, to some types like interfaces, classes, and so on, and that this annotation is executed in the runtime. Let's try once again. Okay, looks good. And let's reuse this annotation here. I think we don't need this annotation here right now, and here too. No sense in those annotations. And let's try to execute tests. Okay, it's green. Let's take a look what we changed here. So we changed it to the record. We added the secret for the tests. That is what we don't need. Okay, new annotation. Yeah, here. Yeah, as you can see, ID, email, it's replaced. So for the records, you don't need to write some getters and setters. Setters is not needed because it's immutable, and getters, it's not getters actually, it's just the name of the field and the method named as it is. So yeah, here I did the import of this long package. And nothing else here. So remove this one, remove this one. Nice imports. So here we replaced all the annotations with the single one, nothing else. And here we changed the return type to the user details implementation. So let's push it. Return push, go. While it's building, I wanted to show you a little thing that I did yesterday. So this is the pull request I created for our branch. And as you can see, the default strategy is squash and merge. And you cannot merge until all those checks are green. So this is the restriction. You should not merge anything into the main branch without, green tests, without this green build, and so on. How I did it, I can show you quickly. This is the general. First of all, we need to scroll down to the pull request and say that allow squash merging. So, and here you can select what the message will be when we will merge it into the main branch. Also, I marked that we need to delete the branches automatically when the pull request is merged. Yeah, that's all here. And I added the rule set. So this is the enforcement status, it's active. So I want to apply it every time. So the target branch is default branch. Default branch is the main in our case. You can see the main. So I want to say that I want to push to force pull request before merging. I need you. The GitHub should check that all our checks are passed. Is passed. So, and here you need to select your actions. So actually, it's build and test. I can show you. It's here. So we defined the build and define the test here. Oh, by the way, what is this? Automate. Okay, unresolved. Just want to add the Codana. Okay, Codana. What is Codana? No, not right now. I will read about it later and we'll see what is it. Maybe I will add it too. So, and yeah, I want to block the force pushes. I also marked automatically request Copilot code review, but I'm not sure how does it work, if to be honest, and I didn't get any reviews here, so maybe I need to add some else key or something like that to make it working. Yeah, so let me take a look what is inside. Yeah, all checks are green and I'm able to merge it. So, but first of all, before we are going to merge anything, we need to write integration tests, at least for some success cases, at least something. I don't want to write too many tests here, but we need to have something because you already seen that it's very useful. Also, I want to merge these packages with the user ones because I don't like current structure. So let's move it here, service mapper. What service inside of the service? It's interesting, right? And the model, this is the model related to the service. And this is the mapper related to the service as well. So we need to merge it. There are two mappers here. Yeah, there is nothing. Yeah, keep it as it is. Let's push it. Merge classes, user packages. Okay, push it. And now I want to write some integration test for the POS controller. Maybe we can ask Codex to write something for us. I don't know how good is it. Ubuntu. Yeah, here it is. This is the. Need to go to this folder. Yeah, Codex. Need to approve edits and commands. I don't trust what he's doing. So yeah, let's ask him to write maybe let's call the init. I'm not sure how often should I call the init. It's already initialized actually. So yeah, agents MD already exist here. So let's try write integration tests POS controller in POS controller integration test class. Use user controller integrate user controller integration test as the reference and keep file. Let's take a look what we will get at the very end. I hope we will get something good enough. It takes time to read everything, as you can see. So it's searching for the user controller integration test. It's reading what is inside. It's searching for the controller, reading what is inside. And you can see it's reading the controller and reading the service. So it's searching for the API to take a look what is inside. So yeah, it's reading the DTOs, request, response, what is inside of our new annotation integration test. So it reads the application IT YAML as well to understand which properties applied for the test. It's even reading the migrations. So maybe it's scanning everything now. I hope the next time it will know what is inside of these classes. Not sure. Maybe if you will change something manually, it needs to rescan everything to understand what is inside, maybe. We will see. And while Copilot is not working, maybe it makes sense to ask him to review everything in our branch instead of the Copilot, right? Takes time. Still investigating. I think cursor with this Claude model was faster, if to be honest. But and it would be definitely faster to write this test by my hands instead of waiting while ChatGPT will analyze everything and will produce some kind of test, and we do not know the quality of this test, right? So I hope it's the only one time it's scanning it so slowly, and next time it would be much faster. But you know, we cannot be sure that it will happen in the future. My assumption is that it will need to scan or rescan periodically those files. It takes too long. And I'm not sure if this is visible good enough on your screen, so I will zoom in a little bit. Sorry for that. I always forgot if it is visible for me that it could not be visible for you on a small screen, for example. Oh, it's going to cover the failure cases. Looks interesting. Yeah, you can ask him to write the test and go to prepare some coffee. Would you like to make the following edits? Control A to view everything. So what he wrote to us, so he deletes everything from the user repository if there is something. Okay, it says that test checking, the success path. So it creates the user into the database, I hope. And this is the request body. This is the expected response. So it says that it expects the JSON object, access token should be inside, and any string should be here. Makes sense, maybe. Okay, so make the post to the post login application JSON. This is the content type of the request body, and we expect the JSON that equals to this one. Makes sense. And this one, yeah, it should be rejected because of the invalid password. So we created the user with the strong password and trying to log in with the wrong password. And we expect to get the unauthorized status code back. Makes sense. This is the persist user method. We create the new user entity with the email and password. We use the password encoder to encode everything. Okay. Not sure. Maybe it makes sense to use the service layer with the, the registration request DTO, but this way is fine as well. So, okay, let's proceed. Take a look. If there's some changes here. Yeah, it's added everything. Yeah, the value of the parameter email is always the same. That is why IntelliJ say, just use the constants. No sense to create the method with the same value. But it's, it's more flexible, and we will have something else maybe in the future, and we'll use different emails and passwords. But passwords can be different, no? No. We create the user with the same password and the login. So Codex can execute Maven test, but because the environment is read-only, so I said to him that he needs to ask me every time. So he proposed me to execute this command locally. So, and I will try to execute. Let's go to this test, jump into the source, and let's take a look. Okay. Is it? Come on. Did I remove it? Really? Yeah, that was a little mistake. Move it to the user util package. We'll get it. What? You had to move the package, adjust the packages as well. Okay. Let's try to execute the code. Green. Oh, it's red. Annotations. Yeah, I think we need to rebuild everything. And this line is needed because here we create the user every time, and if we will keep it in the database, this test the next test could fail because this user is already in the database. So we need to clean up our users each time. So maybe we will add it to the user controller because we are doing some registration here as well. Yeah, by the way, maybe next time we need to handle the error handling because here we get the bad request and think we get some unreadable response here, and we need to add some error handling. But it was, I think, a good idea to clean up the user repository. Okay, and did I started the test or not? One moment, it's running, and I hope it will be green. Almost. It's almost. What we get back is 4.3. And 4.3 is forbidden, right? 3 is forbidden. But we need to get the unauthorized. And here as well, I think. Here we get 4.3. So I have an assumption that we need to change something here. Users, this is the registration endpoint, and it's open without any tokens. But we want to access to login endpoint, right? And security checks that login endpoint should be protected. There is no token, and it returns us 403. That means you are not authorized. My mouse. Here it is. And I forgot to show you the Swagger UI and so on, but maybe next time. Okay. Let's try once again our tests. Even worse. Session. Okay. Okay. Key secret key generator. Let's try to use it. Generate now. This is the key. To use it for the test. It just says that key is not so strong as it should be in my understanding. We will check it right now. Okay, so this is the should authenticate user with valid credentials. It looks good. The success case is working. And here we get back 403, but should get 401. So it's interesting. Let me remember. I think we need to correct it a little bit, and we need to add the exception handling logic here to provide the correct status code. This is the JWT authentication entry points from my other project. Let's take a look what is inside. User. This is the test. User. Evaluator. Yeah, this is the entry point. And as you can see, so when we get here into the authentication entry point, and if there is an exception, we want to say that just return unauthorized and flush it to the response. So we do not even reach to the Spring error handler. We don't have it right now, but we will add it next time on Monday, I think. But currently, that is what we need to implement to return the correct status code. Implements authentication entry point. We need to implement this method. I will copy paste it quickly. Okay. And we need to provide it here. So let me show you. So we say that configure the authentication entry point and use our JWT authentication entry point. Let's check. Okay, looks good. Let's take a look what we changed. So yeah, this secret we changed. Maybe we need to update our local secret if we want to run the application locally. What else? We added the tests. Also, yeah, we updated the utils. This is the entry point handler. We can remove the exception here, I think. We reverted back our JWT utils. We added the exception handler for the security. We will need to implement this part. This is the authentication filter, and I will explain about it later. And this is the cleanup in our user controller test for the users in the database. Add tests. Select files, push it. Okay. What I wanted to explain you about the authentication. So in the I wanted to show you the token actually. The success test. Let's run it in the debug mode. So we can execute it in the evaluate expression. Yeah, and cannot make it bigger. But anyway, I want to return the result, response, and the content as a string. To take a look what is inside. Moment, yeah. This is our response. As you can see, this is the access token, and this is the value. and I wanted to insert it here into the JWT debugger to take a look if it is correct and so on. Moment. Example. Remember that I can insert my own. This is the encoder. This is the here it is. Invalid signature. Why signature is not correct? A string secret, at least you see that our signature is not strong enough. But what we can see, the algorithm is this one, HS 256. The login. This is the expiration time. We have no rows. The ID. What is sub? I have no idea. This is the subject. You see whom the token refers to. So actually, it's the same as the email. This is the issue time. So when the token was created, and this is the expiration time, the time when the token will become invalid. So let's try to generate a stronger key. As you can see, we generated only 128 bytes, and let's make it stronger. Make it stronger. Okay, and keep it here as well. And let's try regenerate the token and take a look once again. So we want to be secured enough. We should not use simple secrets, right? Turn response and content back as a string. Copy and paste. Here, copy the token and validate it. What? It's the algorithm is changed to HS 512, but the signature is not strong enough. Okay, we will take a look maybe next time what is the problem here. But in general, it's almost okay. So it's not easy, you know. So this is the valid JWT token, but the signature is not good enough, you know. There is some invalid problems, and I need to investigate a little bit, and next time I will tell you what was the problem and show you how to fix it. Yeah, here the table with the explanations and with conversions, the date into the human readable strings and so on. But in general, we're almost good to go. I would not push it right now. We need to understand why the signature is not correct right now, and then proceed. So next time we'll fix this problem. We will merge the pull request, and I think we need to start with the error handler on the Spring Boot in the Spring MVC, because we want to get some human readable messages back to understand what is wrong. If you use Postman or anything else, any other client should understand what was the problem and how to fix it. So that is the plan. And after the error handling, we are going to cover the authentication part. So when you make the request to any of the secured endpoints, we need to validate our JWT token, extract the user there, make all the validations and so on. And I found very good scheme. How does it work? So user entered credentials, this is the JWT token in our case, goes to the authentication filter. The authentication filter can extract the user from the token. You can validate this token and extract the user like we are doing here. So we can get it from the payload. And then we can ask to authenticate authentication manager and the user provider to get the user and so on. So that is the plan for the future. Wait, this is the login, I think, the login flow. When user enters the login and password, then authentication filter translates it to the authentication manager. We define the authentication manager in our config, by the way. We use the authentication provider and our custom created the user details services, as you remember, and we define the password encoder as well. So if the user is found and passwords match, so we get it, return it back to the front end. So yeah, and the authentication filter is doing the authentication as well. Everything is inside of this filter, and we are going to implement it maybe on Wednesday. So that is the plan. Subscribe to my channel. I have a Discord server as well. So everything inside of the description of this video. Subscribe and follow the development process of the car maintenance tracker application. I hope we will finish it in the nearest future, to be honest. So I just want to remind that we want to build the backend with the REST API, and as the front end, we are going to use a custom ChatGPT that will integrate with our service using the Open API specification. I don't know how it will work together. I never tried to create my custom ChatGPTs, but it is the most interesting part for me to make it working. And would be interesting, for example, when you go to the car service, you get back some PDF with the list of the services provided to you, and you can upload the image, for example, to the ChatGPT, and it can extract all the information and add it to our service, to our database, and later the ChatGPT can use this information to analyze, for example, the future maintenance jobs, what should be done in the future, what was done in the past, and so on. That is the idea that I'm going to build, and as you can see, we have the GitHub. Everything is open here. You can download the code, take a look by your own. So feel free to ask any questions. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.